JB's far-left FCC nominee Gigi Son on Tuesday, the first since Democrats expanded their search authority last fall. JB nominated her for the position in 2021 and renewed that nomination on January 3rd. The stakes are high for conservatives. Should the Senate confirm Son, she would give Democrats a 3-2 majority on the FCC panel. A Democrat majority would mean unrelenting censorship of conservative voices, including revoking their licenses to broadcast. Son makes crystal clear this a primary objective of hers. Oh, no bueno, guys, here we go.
First, let's start with Lori Racine, who was the seed funder for public knowledge. So she was responsible for turning me into a Soros-supported, really not communist.
She suggested if you don't like someone, if they're a conservative outlet, the federal government should revoke their license to broadcast. That's scary stuff. That's a willingness to abuse government power to go after and target those views you disagree with. Someone who wants to abuse government power like that has no business being anywhere near governmental authority.
It says here, Gigi Son praised billionaire-backed dark money group that calls policing a violent institution that must end as the riots raged in Portland. JB's controversial FCC nominee Gigi Son to face scrutiny over calls for censorship, leftist advocacy. And it says here, hyper-partisan Gigi Son doesn't belong at the FCC. JB's nominee has suggested regulators use their power to suppress the speech of conservatives. It says down here, the Democrats pressed to recuse from vote on JB nominee who funded their campaign. In addition to her virulent hostilities for conservative free speech, Son is the political equivalent of ALC. In June of 2020, she liked a tweet from ALC calling for defunding the police, and a month later expressed agreement that police in Portland were armed goons for defending their city against Antifa. She also called DT a W supremacist who would rather drop everybody than stop dropping blacks. Furthermore, Son has engaged in corrupt behavior. Last year, while her nomination was pending, she made multiple donations to senators worth over $1,000. This included senators who had been critical of her nomination. This certainly has the appearance of bribery, no? Senator Cruz laid out Son's entire sordid character in a blistering opening statement. Oh, here we go, guys, here we go.
A letter from numerous police groups opposing the Son's nomination, and a letter from FCC Commissioner Michael Riley, former Commissioner.
Yo, you in my way, dog!
Ms. Stone, since you have a long and consistent career as a civil you also have a consistent pattern of being unable to perceive comfort credentials, whether it is deceiving this committee and the White House about the sweetheart settlement that you signed the day after your nomination was announced, or whether it is the only nominee I've seen in a decade who make contributions to senators who are voting on your nomination while your nomination is pending, or whether it is bizarrely supporting the same group that blasts senators from both parties. Now, I asked you about Joe Manchin, the group Fight for Our Future, where they ran billboards saying Joe Manchin is cool. You said you didn't agree with that. I asked you whether you agreed with them that John Tester is cool. You said you didn't agree with that. I asked you whether you agreed with them that Gary Peters is cool. You said you didn't agree with that. I didn't get to finish. Because she's attacked you too. I hear you. I'm not attacking her. I think an organization group that but not just money, raise money for. So this group also ran the following billboard. There's a picture of Senator Simmons, also a member of this committee, and it's not subtle. In case people miss the message they're trying to convey, it's in bright red right at the top. It says, "Cinema is corrupt." Do you agree with their sentiment that Senator Sinema is corrupt? Of course not. Of course not. Okay, you say of course not. So that billboard went up in 2019. At the end of 2019, what did you do? You sent out a fundraising email to the end of 2019 after they put this billboard up. They called Senator Sinema corrupt. You asked people to contribute. Is that correct? I asked people to contribute. That's a yes or no question. Yes. Okay, so you knew they were calling Senator Sinema corrupt, and you asked them to contribute afterwards. And by the way, next year, so this is 2019. These tactics, you don't mind. You were aware of them. You testified you knew about them, at least with regard to Senator Sinema, and you wanted people to support them.
Hey, let's keep the traffic alive, eh?
In 2020, and Chairman Campbell asked if I was going to ask about her. I'd like to point out this same group sent a letter to Chuck Schumer.
Hell, right, Sal. Ain't you moving? Yo, watch what you doing, brother. Yo, my man, you blocking up the street. You blocking up traffic.
Now, I think that's a pretty extreme proposition. I gotta say, I've never seen a nominee or a group that the nominee fundraises for demand her own party's chairwoman be fired because you haven't been concerned with her.
Yo, you in my way, dog.
Why this seems like a heck of a conflict of interest? I don't feel like a conflict of interest. Does it seem impartial, or does it seem like an extreme partisan willing to burn everything down if either party doesn't do its own? I don't agree with
Kick the ladder with it.
however, you said you raise money for them. You know about them, and you raise money for them. You send tweets every year asking people to contribute. When you ask people to contribute, that's called raising money. Let me ask you, does the FCC have an obligation to defend democracy? Absolutely. Absolutely, okay. I'd like to look at chart number 15. Chart number 15, you tweeted, and I'm going to read. I agree with Trudy is executive essential, as is Trudy is big telecom, cable, and media. And trust me, the latter plays an important role in destroying democracy and electing autocrats.
My client is a very important man, and he won't respond kindly to these revolting accusations.
You describe Fox News as state-sponsored propaganda. You don't talk about vitriolic rhetoric. Senator Sullivan is right. It's coming from you. These are your words. What about Fox News as state-sponsored? You know, you talk a lot about private actors. Last I checked, Fox News is not part of the government. I want you to explain those two words, state-sponsored. Why? Because state-sponsored suggests that at the FCC, you will use government regulatory power to go after them and silence them. What did you mean by state-sponsored?
What I meant by that, and again, remember, I regretted the tone of that, was that they were very, very, very close to the Trump administration. And the two of them were sort of interacting.
You don't watch MSNBC?
I do not watch CNN either. I was meant to
Thank you.
I don't like...
Wow, that was awful. That was awful. Various questioning. Fawn, Cruz asked her if he... Well, we already heard all that. So I don't need to read all that. She should be investigated for perjury based on that statement. Yeah. What is this here?
Let me ask you secondly. For 15 months, 12 separate political contributions to senators running for office. I've been in the Senate 10 years. I have never seen a nominee make contributions to senators while your nomination is pending. I've never seen that once. I had my staff search the records if we could find anyone in the Trump administration who's done that. My staff was unable to find that. You've been a significant political... You gave... Do you believe it was poor judgment to give 12 separate political contributions to Democrat senators while your nomination was pending?
Senator, I'm a citizen who just wanted to participate in
Yes or no? You gave poor judgment to cut checks to senators who are voting on your nomination while it's pending. No other nominee that we can find has ever done that. You think it was poor judgment?
relatively small donations, no, I don't.
Over $1,000, $32,000 over your life.
That's all in my life.
Well, over $1,000 while your nomination was pending. All right.
And not to one person.
Oh, no. There were to a dozen senators. To a dozen different senators, including senators who've been critical of your nomination and senators who have not. You managed to cover the water board of Democrats running for office.
Wow. Conservative movement must put all hands on deck to hand the changes corrupt market. A third speech. Our voices otherwise will fly as result. He lost life already. How does he not slide through? Like Ketanji Brown Jackson, that's clear to me. But he's not. That's lost. I'm impressed. Anyway, this channel I've got links in the description. Subscribe to the ones you want. Thank you very much. Cool. Well, you know, that's it, guys. That's all for today's show. I hope you enjoyed the show. It was a long day. It's unexpectedly late start to the show. Anyways, see you guys. Goodbye, Helen, Michelle. We just wrapped up. I'm sorry. See you next time. See you tomorrow, maybe, when they air like something, you know, not a show. Oh, glad to see ya. Really not. Like, yeah. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Have a good evening. Happy Valentine's Day to those of you celebrating. If you're not, happy Valentine's Day to you anyway. Doing the guys, huh? Super gay, I know, but it's okay, guys. See you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Very important information coming out. Let me just read this part really quick. And it says here, F-35 fighters from the Royal Netherlands Air Force intercepted a formation of 3 Bear military aircraft near Poland and escorted them away, the Dutch Defense Ministry said in a statement. So guys, this is not only happening to Poland, but I'm hearing that it's happening in Romania too. So this is getting closer to activating Article 5, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the Bear didn't strike them. The Bear just sent drones or aircraft into their airspace, which again, if it was some kind of strike going on, then there'll be Article 5. But this is like the closest of seeing Article 5 activated. So give me a second here. So Eastern Europe is a boiling cauldron as after the speech of the President of Moldova about an imminent Bear coup. The resignation of the Gulf followed. Now, while the airspace was also closed due to the Bear drones, with the aircraft being diverted to Lasi, Romania. So at the same time, 2 Dutch F-35s intercepted a formation of 3 Bear aircraft moving near Poland. All right, so I guess we mentioned this last week, that the Bear, once the Bear is done with the yellow and blue country, they're gonna go after other lands too, like the one I just mentioned. All right, guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, family, so loved ones. I appreciate the love and support. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, once again, the PayPal link and the Patreon link is in the description box. Also, guys, $1 a month Patreon will get you access to our live stream every Sunday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about in this form. Also, guys, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, at 3432 U.S. Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Let's see what's going on here. Let me just read the title. So, it's a picture of the Bear leader looking at Moldova. Like I said, guys, once they're done with the yellow and blue country, they're going to go after possibly other lands. Again, that's going to be during WW3. So, this is huge. All right, so give me a second here. So you have this area is a boiling, you know what? First, F-35 engagement with Su-27 in Poland. Moldova's EEC closed as a leader statement on the Bear coup. So concerns also in France about Moldova. The Gov resigned.
Out of my way!
There's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of people resigning. This here is going to be a long video, guys, because there's a lot of information here, and I got to share every single bit of it so you guys understand what's really going on and how all this is related to Bible prophecy of nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. All right, so you have Dutch fighters escorted the Bear aircraft until they were cleared from Polish airspace. Again, they didn't launch anything, they just went into the airspace. These type of stuff happen every single day. I just heard, I guess my next video is going to be that aircraft also was in the, I think in Alaska too. So you had the Bear aircraft in Alaska today. So it happens it happens all the time. This is not nothing new. But according to this one here, this is something really big because, again, these lands are about to go at it pretty soon. Alright, so Dutch fighters escorted the Bear aircraft until they were cleared from this land airspace. Perhaps this is the first time that there is talk of the Bear invades of their airspace. According to Reuters, the Bear jets approached the Polish NATO area of responsibility from Kaliningrad. After identification, it was found to be a Bear IL-20M Colt A, all right, so which was accompanied by 2 Soku Su-27s. Now, 2 Dutch F-35s escorted the formation from some distance before handing over the escort to NATO partners. It is noted that Ministry of Defense of Netherlands has announced that 8 Dutch F-35s have been deployed in this area for the period of February and March. So you got a lot of birds in the sky right now, especially with the balloons and stuff like that, all that nonsense. Its airspace, the country's national airline announced, while local NEWS reported that one or more Bear drones has been spotted. Dear passengers, at this time, the airspace of the Republic of Moldova is closed. We are waiting for the resumption of flights, Air Moldova said Facebook. Wow. Moldova announced a while ago that it opened its airspace for civil aviation after 3 hours. Moldova authorities believe it is the Bear reconnaissance drone that flew over the territory regions. All our sources are confident that a controlled challenge is going to happen. See, whenever they do those type of stuff, it's a message. It's a message. So I just posted a video about the submarines, about the warship. They sent, I believe, planes to Alaska, if I'm not mistaken. Now they're doing it in training the Yellow and Blue Country forces how to use these tanks, how to fly these planes. So the bear is really, really furious right now that basically the world is going after the bear. All right, I'm gonna skip this one here. Some months ago, the bear was planning to create a land corridor. So, you have the person of the Moldova, Maya, has accused the bear capital of planning some kind of event to overthrow its pro-European G with the help of citizens of the bear, Belarus, Montenegro, and Serbia, who have military training and will attempt to enter the land to implement the bear's plan. The plan evolves, by military trained disguised as civilians who will carry out some huge events. This sounds like the Sleeping Giant plans. The Sleeping Giant are really good doing those type of stuff. So according to this person, the bear aims to overthrow the sea order. Just follow me on this one, guys. I'm using code words. To change the legal power from, I don't know how to pronounce that one there, guys, to an illegal one that will put Moldova at the bear disposal to stop the European integration process. Well, is that true, guys? Again, here's the thing. The Sleeping Giants are the ones are good doing this type of stuff. They did it to the Yellow and Blue Country. They did it back in 2014. To overthrow the GOV and put in their people in there. So the Sleeping Giant is notorious and good at doing these type of stuff. Now, is the bear following the Sleeping Giant footstep to do the same thing, but to Moldova? Who knows? Alright, so the K efforts to bring, to this area will not work. Our main goal is the safety of many and the state. Our goal is peace and public order in this area. Sadu comments come just days after the Yellow and Blue Country leader, Mr. Z, said that his land had uncovered a bear intelligence plan to destroy this area, and days after the land gov resigned. My gut tells me that it's not going to be the bear that's going to do this stunt. I think it's a Sleeping Giant. I don't know, guys. The Sleeping Giant has always been doing sneaky stuff. All right, the Yellow and Blue Country leader, Mr. Z, claimed to have given Maya, the leader of this land, a document which he said described the bear plans to take out the situation in Moldova. When it comes to this game of chess, there's no such thing as friends. Poor Germany. I mean, the pipeline. The Sleeping Giant was trying to throw them under the bus and say it was... I mean, when it comes to the game of chess, I mean, there's no such thing as friends. It's like you're going to jail, right? The number one rule, always trust your cellmate. No. The number one rule, never trust anyone when it comes to being in jail. So again, it's, when it comes to these game of chess and wars and all that, there's no such thing as friends. Just trusting your own self and see who wins this game. All right. So give me a second here. You have this person has characterized the recent against the G pro-Western streak as part of a K-sponsor campaign to destabilize the G. Now, the rise organized by the Party of Exile opposition politician Elon marked the most serious challenge to Sadu since her 2020 election victory. Though, there's certain things I can't say here, guys. You gotta follow me with this code words. So through V action disguised as protest, by the so-called opposition, a change of power will be forced, Sadu said. Sadu also added that another goal of the Bear Capital plan is to use Moldova, possibly through the breakaway region of Transnistria, in full-scale biblical war against the Yellow and Blue country. Soon after, you have the sleeping giant mother and NATO declared their support for Moldova. NATO Secretary General confirmed that NATO will discuss ways to strengthen Moldova's defenses at today's meeting in Ramstein. Very important meeting. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, guys. So Mr. Z is the one that basically opened his mouth and say, hey, I got paper documents. The bear is trying to, overthrow your GOV. So representing the bear among those preparing a event in Moldova with the involvement of military trained professional wearing, clothing ready to use, rise to strike state buildings and take many, says Moldova leader. Like I said, this sounds like the sleeping giant type of stuff. This really sounds like the sleeping giant type of stuff. So once again, you have the person, the leader of this land, said that a pro-bear event is being prepared in the land. Again, when it comes to this game of chess, it's really hard who to trust, because it is one of those chess games that you can't trust no one. I mean, you're playing Texas Hold'em, you're playing poker. There's no such thing as best friend. You're playing against your wife. That ain't your wife anymore. I mean, you guys. It's a metaphor. I mean, it's a game, and someone has to win it. All right, so you have Moldova said to withdraw the bear troops from Transnistria. So Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Moldova, Nicu, requested the peaceful withdrawal of the bear military forces and all the bear powerful stuff located in the region from the territory of Transnistria. According to this person, the governor of Moldova insists on the process of peaceful unification of the country through dialogue and talks. So the main goal of our foreign policy is the withdrawal of the bear army and all powerful stuff that are illegally on our land. In this matter, we are firmly committed to exclusively peaceful methods, this person said, noting that the Moldova G is trying to keep the dialogue open with the Transnistrian authorities because the 5+2 scheme that includes Moldova, Transnistria, the Bear, the Yellow Blue Country, or SCE, and observers from the Sleeping Giant and the EU is not working. It is recalled that the Bear Army has been deployed in Transnistria since July 1992 following an agreement with Moldova in order to peacefully settle the military conflict in Transnistria. Crisis in this area. The Gov resigned after allegation of the Bear destabilization plan. Alright, so now you have some very important people stepping down. They don't want to be part of this. Alright, so you have political event has erupted in Moldova with the G collapsing in the shadow of the problems caused by the biblical war in neighboring Yellow Blue country. You could thank Mr. Byrne for that. So you have the PM, Natalia, has announced her resignation, which also entails the resignation of cabinets. Here's the thing. New key players are coming in. There's going to be new key players. She had to step down. There's going to be new key players coming in. It's like, it's the bottom of the ninth inning, right? It's 3-3. You have the New York Yankees versus the Mets. You want to put your best batter, designated hitter. Hey, you got to come out. We're going to put this dude in. His average is up there, 400s. He hits 60 home runs. You want to put that dude in to play the game. So they're removing her, putting someone else that again is much more capable and much more stronger when it comes to this game of chess. The pro-European past party still maintains majority in Parliament. The resigned PM cited that lack of support for her G regarding the implementation of the reforms necessary for the approachment of her land with the E blank. This person told a press conference that the time has come to announce my resignation and stressed that no one expected that her G elected in the summer of 2021 would have to manage so many events caused by the bear aggression in the yellow-blue country. Her premiership was marked by a long series of problems. These include the acute energy crisis, skyrocketing inflation, and several incidents related to the bear invasion of the yellow-blue country. All this is because Mr. Bear and NATO, they're the one who slapped them sanctions on the bear, and now many lands are getting impacted. And many, those who run the land, they don't know what to do. So now they're not capable of being in that spotlight. So they got to step down. Another person got to step in. Possibly that person knows Mr. Byrne really well. So following, give me a second here. Following Gravolita's resignation, Moldova leader announced that she is ready to meet with many in Parliament to discuss potential candidates for the post of PM. Alright, so however, the G resignation came hours after allegation of a bear plot to destabilize Moldova, which the bear denies. There we go, the bear's denying it. And minutes after reports that the two bear missiles had passed through Moldovan airspace bound for the yellow-blue country. Hours after the yellow-blue country leader spoke about the bear plan to destabilize neighboring Moldova, a Moldova intelligence service announced Thursday that they had detected the bear's stabilization activities. Here's the thing, guys. This is coming out from Mr. Z, so anything that he comes out with, it's just hard for me to believe. Because coming out from Mr. Z, it's not coming out from no one else but Mr. Z. As this person leader warned of the bear interference in her land, the Armed Forces Minister visited this area to discuss greater defense operation. Breaking, NATO, you know who, confirms NATO will discuss ways of strengthening the defense of Moldova at the meeting in Ramstein today. Now remember, guys, I talked about the meeting yesterday. So they're talking about very important stuff today. And if you guys look at this map, you have the yellow-blue country here. There go Moldova. You have the Black Sea down here. So, and you have Romania, and up here, I believe it's Poland. Okay, so this is where we are right now, guys. Mr. Z came out with some very important document and say, look out, the bear is planning something. Then you have someone that's stepping down. And yeah, again, guys, this is where we are right now. This is where we are right now. I will keep you updated on this story once again. The bear. And we have, who is it? What's the other country? I think it was Netherlands, right? Yeah, Netherlands. So again, this is where we are right now. Give me a second here, guys. Let me just read this part really quick. Oops. Poland changed the story. They are changing the story a little bit now. We have the Poland Ministry of D has confirmed that Dutch F-35 fighters were scrambled on Monday to intercept 3 of the Bear aircraft. Dutch F-35 stationed at the 22nd Tactical Air Base in Marbrook were scrambled on Monday, February 13, in order to identify and intercept 3 of the Bear aircraft that were operating near Polish airspace, the Polish Defense Ministry said in a statement sent to the 3 letters on Tuesday. So the Defense Ministry said that the F-35 fighter were operating over international waters, and Polish airspace was not violated. Ooh. That is something different. That is something very, very different. So it seems like the bear didn't even violate it in airspace. This is why I said I really, really don't trust Mr. Z. Everything that he says, I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I can't trust that dude. Alright, so this is where we at right now, guys. I will keep you updated. Like I said, the plan sounds like Sleeping Giants. Sleeping Giants are notorious for removing and putting new ones in the spotlight. They did it in 2014. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, for those of you that want to give a life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path, and that's the path of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago, 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Sunday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about in this flat, raw form. Also, guys, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comment box. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Give your life to Jesus Christ and get baptized. We are living in tough times. Till next time later. Peace.
Crazy people everywhere.
Welcome to NTD News Today. I'm Kevin Hogan. Let's take a look at our top stories. 3 former Twitter executives are testifying before Congress over the company's alleged censorship of Hunter Biden's laptop story. The latest on the massive earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, more than 11,000 deaths have been confirmed. Rescue efforts are continuing. President Biden's State of the Union address comes as polls show a majority of Americans say he hasn't done much. We bring you analysis on Biden's brief mention of immigration and efforts to stabilize the Southeast Pacific. Texas is suing the Biden administration. The Lone Star State says federal guidance forces pharmacies to dispense abortion-inducing drugs.
Big breaking news. A shelter-in-place order has been issued for a major toxic chemical spill. And this is very suspicious, this spill. This toxic chemical should not have been transported in this type of vehicle. If you look it up, they are not transported in normal semi-tractor trailers. So this is very suspicious, and also the chemical that was being transported is extremely explosive and is also actually used to create nitroglycerin or dynamite. Alright, so this is all, none of this makes sense. This is very suspicious, and this is coming after we've seen multiple explosions happening. Alright, I just wanted to recap really quick because we've been talking about all these train derailments and explosions and toxic chemicals. But really quick, this happened last month and it was completely swept under the rug. This was in Illinois, right outside of Chicago, and more than 1 million pounds of chemicals were exploded and released into the atmosphere and leaked into the ground at this massive chemical plant. And the EPA says, once again, no health risk, no problem, no worries. It's just insane. They just lie to us constantly. The EPA has all of these insane regulations, but they will lie to your face and say, hey, your water's good, the air's good, your house is good. This chemical plant, the cars, it was eating paint off of the cars and oxidizing the cars and turning them green because it was oxidizing the metal on people's cars in real time. It was raining down oxidants and chemicals onto people's, just onto people, but you could see it on the car because cars are made of metal and it was oxidizing them in real time. So something's happening, guys. We need to get prepared for a major biological or chemical event. We need to get prepared for a major biological or chemical event. This is going to happen very soon. They're preparing us. It seems like they're trying to engineer something. So this was the emergency order that was sent out in Arizona. It says hazmat release. I-10 between Cold and Rita Road. Individuals within 1 mile radius should shelter in place. Turn off heaters, air conditioning units that bring in outside air. Travelers should avoid Interstate 10 and seek alternative routes. They are having shelter-in-place situations, which honestly, it's like, it doesn't even make sense to shelter in place. You need to get out. You need to evacuate. You need to get away from these chemicals. The government just, they do things that will cause the least amount of panic. Alright, that's what they always do. That's why a lot of things are always swept under the rug. That's why you probably didn't even hear this unless you're a regular listener of my channel and you watch every video. You might not even have heard of this. Alright, this happened last month, and this is happening again here. And the chemical that was being transported here, you can see here a shelter-in-place issue was ordered because of a nitric acid spill. Nitric acid is very corrosive and very reactive to metals and very explosive, and it's actually used, I believe, to create nitroglycerin and dynamite. So, and it should normally be transported on rail cars or tank trucks. So you can see here, nitric acid is typically loaded into rail cars or tank trucks via boom-supported stainless steel loading arms or chemical hoses with flanged end connections. Alright, so this is how it's normally transported, and this is how it's being transported, just in a normal semi-truck. Something's going on, alright, something's happening. It should be in a tank truck, alright, that hauls fuel, alright. You don't just see a truck like this hauling fuel or gasoline or anything explosive or corrosive, because they need to be in these safe tank trucks, or it's loaded into rail cars, which we've seen are also very suspicious. There's something going on with them too. And you can see here nitric acid reacts violently or explosively with most metals and powdered metals, right? And it has a whole list of them, and it is also used to create nitroglycerin. So this is happening right now. Why was this truck being why were these chemicals being transported in this truck that is not supposed to be transporting nitric acid? It seems very suspicious. Was this a setup? And it's very explosive. Were they trying to cause a massive explosion outside of Tucson, Arizona? We've seen all of these other incidents that we have to just question at this point. Right? We have to be wondering what's going on. They always tell us it's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, just close your air vents. Alright, turn off your heaters and air conditioning units that bring in outside air. It's fine. Just sit there. That's what they're telling people in Illinois. They're like, my house stinks. I'm feeling kind of weird, lightheaded from breathing this stuff in. And they were just telling people, oh, just close the doors. Just close the windows. Turn off your AC. Just put your AC on circulate, like in your car or whatever, and you're good to go. Alright? And don't worry about it. This is what's going to happen. The government is going to say whatever it takes to cover up and to make people not panic in situations like this, because they could also get sued as well, right? The government has a lot of regulation over these toxic chemicals being transported, and they could potentially be sued for allowing these chemicals to be transported in these obscure vehicles that aren't even supposed to be you can see right here for your face, in front of your face, that it is not transported in a normal semi-tractor trailer, and that's what is happening right now, and this is very explosive, and they could be liable. So they're not going to say, hey, we messed up here, they're going to try to downplay it as much as possible. The EPA does not want to get sued, and they are going to just brush it off, right? And it's one of these things, we need to get prepared for a chemical or biological